Huh?
80 acres.
In New Nandagram in Melbourne? Not very big, huh? Not much bigger than here. I thought it was bigger than that. They have some farms over there in Australia. Maybe a few other individuals have farms. Our farm in France is only about, I guess in acres, they go in hectares, about 180 acres, about 180, something like that. 80 something hectares. My Papa's great desires to see these farms develop, and I mean, he wanted us to be self-sufficient. Obviously, self-sufficiency in the West in this age is only up to a certain limit. You simply can't produce certain things, or you can't live a lifestyle which perhaps would accommodate self-sufficiency. In other words, there'd be no electricity, no running water of the way you have it right now, and all these other things, even gas. I mean, these are results of a non-self-sufficient system. And so many of the appliances, and most of the appliances we see before us today, would not be possible. What to speak of a mobile phone or a tripod, etc. Obviously wouldn't be there. No washing machines, electric cookers, none of this conveniences of modern society would be, so to a certain extent you can only go so far in the present situation. Government also isn't exactly supporting self-sufficient communities as far as I know. I remember back in the 90s there was one party, I've forgotten what they were called, political party, and they're here in New Zealand. Their manifesto was to divide the country up, all the arable land in the country, and give every householder like 10 acres of land and a house, and you have to live there and produce all your own food. That was their manifesto. I don't know all the details, but that was their mainline manifesto. And they calculated that would be cheaper than all the education and all the training programs and everything else that's going on to get people into the world of economics. But they didn't get many votes. I don't think they got hardly any. It's kind of a nice sentiment. But most people are not. And they wonder what to do if you're given 10 acres of land. What would you do on 10 acres of land? What would you do? If you were given 10 acres of land, what would you do with it? What would you do with it? I mean, some of you might be into farming, but what would you do with it? So, Ralph, what would you do if you had 10 acres of land?
I like to grow some veggies, maybe have some cows.
There you go, not bad. Not bad. Why don't you do it? Easier said than done. Abai Charan, some of you know Abai Charan? There's a few Abai Charans. The white skin, oh, they're both white. There's a few white skin ones. How to describe him? He used to live at New Varsham. He now lives in the north. What's that place called? Waiku? Well, no, what's it called? Right at the top, Waikeo or something. Very right at the top of the island. Kataya, something like that. He lives up there with his wife. And I don't know how much land he's got. He's got some land. And he's a horticulturist by educational training. So he's growing a lot of stuff up there. A lot of stuff. And they're right on a trail. There's this trail that goes through New Zealand. People walk from north to south. He's right next to the trail. Hundreds of people come by and they all take. He's had this on his deck. Outside deck he has like a cafeteria set up. And so many of them are taken. Then he gives them less education on how to grow things in their own gardens. Themselves like that. He gives them training if they want, that is. Some courses and shows them how to do this, that, and the other. I don't know, is Jayanti here tonight? Jayanti? I don't know if she's still here. Maybe she's gone back or not. I don't know. She was here yesterday. And they're doing pretty good. I was surprised to see. Beautiful. Of course, it's warmer, and the scenery is very nice, kind of semi-hilly type scenery. But like that, they're doing it. He was the president, I think. Oh, maybe not, but he was one of the managers at New Goku Farm in Australia for a long time. He was living there, running a cafe in the city. And now he's doing that, which is always what he wanted to do. Because how you measure self-sufficiency is another thing. But at least we try to live a more natural life, live off the land Prabhupada wanted. At least to grow our own food. Does he have cows? I can't remember. He showed me the pictures. Do you remember? I got the pictures somewhere, but huh?
I think they said they had some old cows.
Did they? Can't remember. I don't think they're getting any milk, but I can't remember. Not many people can do that, or not willing to do that, or in a position they can't do it. But what to do? So we have to make the best of a bad bargain. I try to make the best of it as we can. Try to live as simple as we can. Minimize our so-called essentials. I'm sure if we all looked around, we'd probably find a lot of items we have which are not really of any practical use. Try to keep the house clean and tidy. Minimum clutter. You use this word clutter? You know this word? Clutter? You know what clutter is? What's clutter? It kind of almost explains itself, isn't it? The word has that kind of almost clutter. Huh? It's not organized. You've got a lot of stuff you don't need, you know. Oh, from your childhood you've got all these things, different things from your holidays, all kinds of stuff, which really doesn't have anything other than attachment involved in it. You remain attached to all these things. Huh? It keeps your anchor in the material world in many cases. You know, your trophies when you were, whatever you were, a runner or something, badminton or some competition of chess or something. All these things, and books that you gave up reading 30 years ago. You still got them all in your bookshelf. Sentiment only of useless books. I remember that's one of the things I remember when I was kind of for a short while managing, or supposed to be managing New Varshana in the 90s. I found so many books all over the place, in different parts of the property. All kinds of books, nothing to do with Krishna consciousness, not even educational necessary. And I remember taking them down to a shop in the centre of Auckland, and everyone was surprised I got a lot of good money for some of those books. They were like, collector's pieces and stuff, but useless to us. And, get rid of it. Don't clutter yourself. One of the reasons we don't progress is we hang on to all these old things. I've been in house, I don't know if especially here in Auckland, I used to go a lot around houses. In the 90s, we were going house to house trying to collect money for the temple, for the Varshan temple. A lot. So we go in people's houses. And the amount of stuff that some of these Indian people had was unbelievable. Newspapers going back like 30 years piled up. I don't think you do that these days, because most people don't take newspaper. But then, newspapers were, there was no social media as you know it now. It was all printed, wasn't it? There were no mobiles or computers. It was all printed. Everything was printed. So, so many newspapers people would keep. From 1925, newspaper. Look, it has some value actually in the market maybe, but as far as we're concerned, what value does it have? It just clutters your house. And you go in the children's room. Most of you have been through this era, and some of you are in this era now. But nowadays, I'm sure Shyam Sundar, when you were a kid, did you have a mobile phone when you were a kid?
I've got one now.
He hasn't got one. He's still a kid. Even kids now have mobile phones sometimes. Well, that's the least of it. I mean, maybe that's replaced everything else, but I don't know. But we go into these rooms, and there'd be a whole room with nothing but toys in it. Toys everywhere. Such a mess. Another room would be a storage room. And you open the door and it's like, my God, the stuff that's in there is like, you quickly close the door, It's like, this is our garage. There's no car in the garage. It's just full of everything and anything under the sun, From their previous house or whatever it is, I don't know, but something. Isn't it? We clutter our lives up like this, The more you can simplify your life, the easier it is to live a simple life. Not just externally, but internally. They do go together. They do go together. Of course, everyone's different, and different colors, and different designs, and different plants, and everything.
Today is Thursday, January 23rd.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you for telling me. Very good. Is that all you've got to say? After any comments, that's all you've got to say. Where did that came from? Keep it clean, keep it nice and fresh. A nice fragrance, whatever. Different people will be different. You've got more comments back there or not? You're not satisfied? You had too much to eat or what? Or not enough to eat, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but new version, trying to keep it clean. The world is doing good. I mean, it's probably as clean as it's been, probably, I don't know. It's trying your best, keep it neat and clean. But I tried to hide this afternoon to chant some japa. It was difficult. I went to a corner, all of a sudden one devotee turned up in their car and, "Aha, Maharaj, you're here." Right at the back of the Gurukul, right as far back as you can go. And suddenly a devotee drove their car right to the back and got out of the car, and they were in the corner there, hiding away, and they saw me. But there are areas of clutter. There's a big clutter area there. Maybe somebody's staying there, I don't know. But try to keep your lives as clean and neat and tidy. What do you think? Mahavishnu Swami would speak some of these things too, wouldn't he? Because he was a bit extreme sometimes. You must have listened to. I don't see a television anywhere in your house. Have you got a TV? Is there one above me? Maybe there's a screen. It's 20-foot wide screen.
We used to joke, Maharaj, nowadays instead of a living room wall, you might have just a TV across
just
the
a
whole
big screen on the wall.
It's just going bigger.
Massive screen, I remember you used to say sometimes, throw it out the window. Television, just terrible vision. Throw it out the window. Throw it away. I don't know if any of you did, but maybe you got one. You never had one. You haven't lived. I mean, how do you? I mean, you never even had one.
Yes, my mother-in-law came. We did buy one for her, and then that didn't last too long.
Yeah, now people don't need TVs. You've got your mobile phone. You can see everything. You imagine saying, throw your mobile out the window. There'd be a lot of mobiles flying out the windows here.
That's life.
Hmm?
That's life. It's like saying, die.
Yeah. Jump off the top of the Empire State Building or something. Who was I with yesterday? Talking to someone? Maybe it was, I don't know, but Jai or Atma or Kalsenbar, who was, I don't know, someone saying they were with Indradunamaz. They were going somewhere. It wasn't here, some other city. And the GPS, you call it GPS, or Google Maps, Google Maps or one of these things, was taking them round and round in circles, because they're not always totally, I mean, they put a no entry sign or some roadworks, it's not always clear And they couldn't. They just kept going round. It kept bringing them back round again. They go and they bring them. And Indra Maharaj just threw the mobile out the window. I don't know if someone outside caught it or not. I don't know, but I can't imagine he just threw it away. But he said he actually threw it out. Pretty frustrating sometimes. I remember Radhanath Maharaj said, because oftentimes it's a lady who's given the directions on it. He said, to get rid of this thing, I may as well just have a wife, he said. Do this, turn right, second left, stop, turn back. It's like non-stop she was on this, going on and on and on, programmed in there. All these things don't, because we may have to need them. I mean, they don't make it easy to live a peaceful life, put it like that. Although it's useful when they tell us it's Thursday the 23rd of January. It's not bad. But, simple life. Keep your house clean, neat, tidy. Everything. Within reason. We're not going to spend our whole life just doing that, but at least keep it simple. It'd be much easier. Cheaper also. I don't know much about the breakdowns, but I would say that in society not a vast majority, but probably a majority of people's expenses is on what we call anartha. You know what anartha means? Unnecessary. Unnecessary expenditures. Of course, for ladies, they wouldn't consider it unnecessary, but they do spend a lot of money on makeup and various kinds of perfumes and what have you. Maybe you don't, but a lot of people do. And sometimes you find the ladies, they have like 50 pairs of shoes, 200 saris, and unlimited jewelries and stuff. Never ending, sometimes. I'm sure you don't, but many people do. And the men, they like to collect other things, perhaps. I don't know what they like to collect. Depends what they're into, doesn't it? All kinds of stuff. And, it's unnecessary. You don't want to get rid of anything. You'll get attached to it, and you kind of, maybe I'll use it one time in the future. I better keep it. 100 different colored shoes, and what have you. Different, unnecessary. Keep what you need, according to your situation, and keep life simple. Prabhupada's, one of his main, you could say, teachings, simple living, high thinking. Keep life simple. Make it so complicated. And when we have all these complications around it, it makes it more difficult to be attentive in chanting and hearing. Too many distractions. Try to keep the home as Krishna conscious as we can, with appropriate pictures. And I don't know. I mean, I would make comments if you want, but I'm not going to, particularly on the details of the room. I see that some pictures seem to have disappeared from the wall there. You can see the outline on the wall behind, which indicates that previously there was something on the wall. Maybe it wasn't Krishna conscious. You took it down quickly before it came. Yeah, that may happen. That as soon as you come, everyone starts cleaning the room and the house to make it look like you're a good boy, And, Prabhupada, of course, whenever he would come, and everybody would be very quickly, as soon as they found out he was coming, everybody working very, very hard to clean everything up and make it look nice and tidy and so on. That's okay. That's the nature that's why the Lord comes. He wants to clean us all up. We're going to clean up our hearts. And when pure devotees come also, it cleans us, is to cleanse us all, purify our hearts. One time when Panchadravida, he was a sannyasi or a brahmachari then, I don't know, but he was in Mumbai, and he came to Vrindavan to see Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, and Panchadravida Maharaj was staying in Mumbai. So Prabhupada, he came to see Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very eager to hear what was happening in Mumbai in the 70s, maybe 74 or 5 or something. He was very eager to be, and Panchadravida Prabhu Maharaj, he said, well, Srila Prabhupada is not too good. And Prabhupada said, why? He said, everything's very dirty, Srila Prabhupada. We've got rats and so many problems. And Prabhupada said, oh, that means you're not chanting your 16 rounds. No, Srila Prabhupada, I'm chanting my 16 rounds. You're not chanting your 16 rounds. He didn't know what to say. He is just saying that the temple's dirty, and Prabhupada's telling him, you're not chanting your 16 rounds. He couldn't piece the two together. It didn't seem to fit, you know. And then Prabhupada said, if you were chanting your 16 rounds, the temple would not be dirty. Jeto Darpana Marjana. You may be mechanically doing something, but you're not really chanting. It's a tendency, we're not conscious. You'll become aware that these things are not pleasing to Krishna. Anyway, that was a lesson Prabhupada taught him. In cleanliness, tidiness. I know when you've got little children, obviously it's a constant endeavour. It's not easy. But at least try your best and try to educate them to keep clean as much as possible as well. Waste is another big thing, I suppose, in this age. It's always been there, but it seems to be quite prominent nowadays. I don't know. Again, I don't know details. I only know what I know from the past, but I've seen a lot of waste in society. And there's not much training. Not much training. Children are almost encouraged to waste things. They put too much on their plates and they throw it in the bin afterwards. And I'm sure, Shyam, when you were a kid, they didn't tolerate that, did they? What did your parents do if you didn't eat everything on your plate?
That's the first thing they told us. You cannot get up till you finish your prashadam.
Isn't that? Where were you brought up?
I was mainly, well, I migrated from India when I was 8.
You left India when you were 8. You
Yeah.
came here when you were 8? Or
Australia.
Australia.
So, yeah, we were pretty, we respected prashadam, so we...
Well,
we had
whatever
to-
food it was, prasadam or not, but we respected it. We wouldn't leave anything. And that's funny because you were born in an Indian family. Most if you were born in Indian families, those who were older at least. Gaur-Gopal Prabhu. Gaur-Gopal? Oops, sorry, Prabhu. Maybe different. Where were you brought up? Where were you when you were a child? Yes. In Vicargo. When you would take your dinner, when you were say 6, 7, 8 years old, how would you be brought up? Did your parents train you how to take your dinner?
Yes, we were told to finish everything on the plate.
Isn't it
We
amazing?
never had a lot anyway.
That's another factor. They didn't have a lot. That was a common thing, of course. That was a different thing. Nowadays you're spoiled. Where's the pizza? You know, you can't satisfy the kid unless you give them pizzas or something or another. I didn't even know what a pizza was. Well, I never saw a mango till I was 20 years old. I didn't even know what they were. I heard of them, but never knew what they were. We had a very limited range of food in the early years. But the same principle was there, whether it was a little or a lot. We had the same thing in England. We were not allowed to stand up or sitting at a table until there was nothing left on our plates. We sometimes had to sit there for an hour. And it was training. So you wouldn't take, next time you wouldn't take more than you're going to eat. Training. There's no such training nowadays. It's not there. Practical training. I'm not saying you should implement it because you might be held up for child abuse or something. God knows what they'll do. But these type of things were normal all over the world. It wasn't, you might think, oh, that was India, but it's not. It was in England. It was in New Zealand. It was all over the world like that. People didn't want to waste anything because they may have been poor, whatever it is. But no more than you are now, really. It's just a relative thing. You're living on fourth economy now. But, not to waste anything. Don't waste. Yeah, we were also from a poor family like Gaur-Gopal probably. We just had enough, that was it, just enough. And this tendency is there to waste so much. both on a mass scale and on a local scale, wasting our time, wasting our energy, and spending money. Why are people spending so much money on entertainment, on intoxications, upon, I mean, I don't know how much they spend on going to the restaurants. I suppose they're expensive, aren't they? If you go out to a Saturday night restaurant and go up Sky City, is it called Sky City in Auckland? What's it called, that tall tower? Sky Tower? What's it called? Up the top of Sky Tower. Is a restaurant on top? Maybe. Probably costs a lot of money to eat up there, if any of you have been there. Or go bungee jumping? Is it free? Do they pay you to do that, or what? How much they pay you to jump off the top of the cliff? Crazy, isn't it? People pay for it, right? It's incredible. Why? Why do they need to do that?
To get afraid.
Get a what?
To get afraid.
Afraid? They want to be. They're not afraid enough already. What's wrong with them? There's no shortage of fear in this world. Whatever it is, they get some buzz from it. We're not happy in our hearts. Huh? Dissatisfied. Dissatisfied. Even materially speaking, you know, you can be more satisfied with a simple life than you can with all this modern, artificial means of trying to get happiness. Huh? So many artificial means of spending so much money on holidays and this and that. There has to be a certain amount of recreation, no doubt, but it doesn't have to be so extravagant or so unnatural. So unnatural. People are traveling everywhere, we're also traveling everywhere, various reasons, part of life nowadays. But in times, I mean, how many times did you travel when you were a kid? I'm not talking to you, you're from Fiji. Sham, do you travel a lot?
Not much. You actually can afford it.
Yeah, people couldn't really afford it anyway if that's too much, but there wasn't much of an urge to travel.
We used to go to, well, especially in India, we used to always go to the temple.
When you were a young kid,
Temple, yes, the village temple, and that's really about it.
didn't go all over the country.
No,
People didn't do that. I mean, where I was from, which was maybe, I don't know how far we are from Auckland here, 10 kilometres? How far through it? 10 to Auckland from here?
You in CBD?
Yeah. Whatever.
We'll look at times rather than the kilometers.
Whatever it is, anyway.
20 minutes.
But say Hamilton. Hamilton's what, 100 kilometres?
30.
100 from Auckland? So about 80 miles, 70, 80 miles. That's exactly how far I live from London. Now, if we went to London once every 2 years, that was a big event. It was a big event. Yeah. Could go there to look at a museum or something, or a football match or something or another. It was a big event. Yeah, big day out. Nowadays, people live 80 miles away and go there to work every day. They even fly to work, some people. You know, we're living in, no doubt, in a different circumstance, but it's all unnatural, it's all unnecessary, artificial creations. I try to keep within this, we can't change it exactly, but at least we can try to keep it as simple as we can. It would be much easier for our own consciousness to chant Hare Krishna. When your house is neat, minimal things, and don't go overboard. Every individual needs different things. Your children do need different things. They're living in a society which more or less expects it of you, but at least keep it to a reasonable minimum. But do keep as tidy as you can. Try to educate the children in a loving way, and to keep tidy and not to waste things, to appreciate, to respect, to have gratitude and so on for what we've got. It makes it a little bit easier to practice Krishna consciousness. You all know that when you're living in a nice, clean, peaceful environment, it's generally easier to chant than it is when you're living in a pigsty. There's clutter everywhere and dirt and noise and what have you. Put your mobile to sleep whilst you're doing your japa. Burijam Prabhu, I don't know if you know Burijam. Who knows Burijam Prabhu? And what's this conversation that's going on here? What's the problem? What's up?
She was feeling a bit hot, so I just told her to come and maybe sit here closer.
Someone's feeling hot? Manasi Ganga, you're feeling hot? Can you help her, please? Give her a chair near the window or something. Yeah, if anyone's feeling hot, then please readjust yourself to get some fresh air or something. I'm sorry we turned the aircon off because of me. Is there any way of doing it so that it's on? But
You can put that one.
put something on to cool the room down. It's probably getting warmer and warmer, I would imagine. I see utility as the principle. I see paper plates going like that's okay. Keep fanning, that's a good use of it. Keep fanning, carry on, don't be shy. Keep going. Maybe the children need fanning. You know, most of you who lived in Fiji or India, you know it's like what it's like in the summer. It's unbearable almost. So, yeah, anyway, I was saying about, who knows Burijam Prabhu? Burijam Prabhu, some of you met him. Lives in Perth or Vrindavan, between the two mostly. So when I was with him in Perth a few years ago, at I think 8 o'clock at night, he has this time safe. You can't open it until like 9 in the morning. And he puts his mobile in his computer and there closes it. You can't get there even if he wants to. It's got a time lock, you know. Set it. So they're not even available, even if you want to. Between like certain time at night and then certain time. So he focuses on his chanting and his deity worship like that, you know. With no disturbance. You know, if you have your mobile there, there's always this temptation, you know, isn't it? It's very tempting, isn't it? Do you, any of you, maybe the ladies don't have a problem, but the men, it's very tempting, right, Sham? If you have your mobile next to you when you're chanting japa, it's very distracting. Huh? He doesn't even have a mobile, full stop. He never had one. Maybe you had one once, I don't know. He doesn't have one. Very distracting. You need it for your business, a job, but try to keep it out the agenda. I'm trying to remind myself, don't think I'm innocent in this regard, by the way. But it's good if you can keep it away from it. Just now we were in Govardhan. How many of you have been to Govardhan in Vrindavan? Hands up high. Now more hands are rising in the sky. You haven't been there yet? Daddy didn't take you? You haven't taken your kids yet, no? You should take them soon. They're getting big enough now. But we were at a Govardhan retreat. Some of you have been to the retreat with Burijam Prabhu and Sachinanda Maharaj and whoever else. Any of you been? Japa retreat. Anyone been? You haven't been, okay. Anyway, they have a massive retreat center there, really big, I was amazed. They built. And who's from Christchurch? Anyone here from Christchurch? Anyone? I think they've gone, the Christchurch contingency have left. There were 3 or 4 of them. 5 of them, but they left. But from Dunedin, you've seen Gorgopal. You know Yamunacharya in Christchurch? Yamunacharya.
Yes.
You know him. Well, he also is civil engineer, so he oversaw this project which they built in Govardhan. And it's a big project. I don't know how many. Jivananda Prabhu, do you remember how many people they can accommodate there comfortably? In different rooms. Anyway, it's 300 or 400. You know, the 2 in a room, so there's a lot of room. Plus they got 7 or 8 like bhajan kutirs, which are like quite exceptional. I can describe it. There's no kind of mod cons there at all, and it's designed just so you can peacefully chant Hare Krishna. So for all the courses, they request people, please try to avoid bringing your mobile. So for most of the day, we just didn't look at our mobile at all. We sit in front of Govardhan Hill, just meditating on Govardhan Hill, you know, just trying to enter into the association of Giriraj and everything around you and what it is in relation to trees, the peacocks, the monkeys, this and that. It's just kind of like really try to live in that atmosphere and don't bring your own world there. Live in that world. We tend to bring our, you go to Vrindavan, you bring New Zealand with you or something, got oil. And you go to somewhere which is like, a nice MBT kind of restaurant with like air cons and all the Western food available, and isn't it? Spending all your money, staying in a hotel. They have big signs up, live like a king in the kingdom of God. Big boards there, advertising, 4, air-conned apartment with 4 special rooms, swimming pool. You even see signs, we golf course in Vrindavan. They're trying to bring the West, super shopping malls coming up. So you can buy all the things you want and just go to the shopping mall and enjoy yourself there. Whatever that is, spending your money. But, we live, we want a change of heart. We're not here to change Krishna consciousness to fit our own conditioning. It is to change our conditioning to fit Krishna consciousness. It's the other way around. Change of heart should take place. All these things are to facilitate, doesn't cause it, but facilitate that change of heart. And of course the major activity, no matter what's going on, and you may end up in a situation which is very difficult to adjust, but to chant the holy name of Krishna as much as we can. But all these things are to help us and to focus on that, the medicinal process. Lord Chaitanya has come in Echio Shari Mayanashi Barolagi, that he's brought the medicine to cure us of this disease, this Bhava Rog. This disease, it sounds like a Bhava Rog, it sounds like, this birth and death is like a rogue, to save us from this rogue, this repetition of birth and death, to deliver us from this world. But if we keep one foot in the material world, most of us try to keep one foot in there, depending on all these other things, what have you. But we all know what happens if you're getting on a boat, for instance, and there are lots of boats around here in Auckland. But some of you may have, I don't know if you've been on boats, but some of these small boats you have to kind of step on them. There's not like a complete, tunnel or bridge. You have to actually step from the land to them yourself. There's nothing in between. Very small boats, and if you're not careful, maybe there's a little gap like this in between the boat and the shore, and you have to step over. And to this very day, and I still see the picture. I must have been about 5 or 6 years old, maybe 4, 5, 6. We were on an island, and there was this little boat. We were going to another island, and the boat was just pulling away, and I was on the shore, and my brother, I think, was on the boat with my father. My mother was and myself trying to go over. I didn't go, but she did. She tried to step on the boat, but her 1 foot on the land, 1 foot on the boat, and the boat was going, and plop, she fell in the water. And not a very nice example, but that's what happens. Eventually we can't. It's a movement, we want to go forward. So eventually we have to put both feet in the boat. Did you fall over? You okay? It takes time. We do eventually. The pure devotees have left that boat of devotional service. They've left it on this shore. We just have to step in there, get into it. But if we keep all these anchors, you all know the story of the wedding party, isn't it? You know the story, the wedding party, Sham? You know this story? Achyuta? Sarab? You know this story? You know the wedding party story, it's famous. Prabhupada tells it, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj tells it, I'm sure your Guru Maharaj told it too. The wedding party, There's a wedding. You don't get that experience so much here, I don't think, but maybe some people do, still do these things. Let's take an example. Say we're going to New Zealand example. We're in Auckland. So say your the wedding is going to be in Napier. You know where Napier is? Hastings, Napier. It's quite a journey. Now overland, not so much, but for the sake of this story, say for instance, they're going to go by boat. I guess it's quite a popular way to travel. So they rent a big boat, and they were going to get on it at night, and by the morning they would be in Napier for the weddings tomorrow. So we're just going down, because this is still pretty light right now, but just say it's like a season when it gets darker earlier, so it's already dark. We all go down to the shore somewhere in Auckland. We all 100, how many of us here? 60? We all get on the boat, we're all excited. Tomorrow morning, the wedding begins in Napier. And, we all have a good drink or two, and then we all fall asleep in the boat. It's a nice boat. And of course, those boats were being rowed. They had oarsmen rowing the boat, you see. And they'd take a bit longer to get to Napier, the rowing boat. But anyway, even if it isn't a rowing boat, it could still maybe apply, I don't know. Anyway, all night long everyone's sleeping, and then they wake up in the morning all excited. We must be almost there. We must be almost there. Maybe there. And then all of a sudden somebody sees, hey, we're still in Auckland. Look, there's Auckland right there. What is this nonsense? Where's the captain of the ship? Hey, you're the captain. What have you been doing? We paid you a lot of money to get us to Napier. But I don't know, we've been all night long, we've been rowing. Look at my men. Look at them. They're exhausted. They've been rowing all night. I don't understand why we're not there. They were rowing all night, but we haven't reached their destination. Then, one little boy, Rami, hey, Daddy, the anchor's still in the ground at the back. Oh no, you forgot to take the anchor out of the ground. We keep our little anchors in the ground, don't we? Yes, Hare Krishna, but no one's looking. Krishna's looking. And we know how much it holds us back, But what to do? In Grihastha life, obviously you have to have various anchors, but we have to understand that really, ultimately speaking, our real business is to completely take shelter of Krishna. So those anchors are allowed to a certain extent, under certain circumstances in Grihastha life. You need certain possessions, you need certain security, maybe some insurance, health, this and that. They're required, but we shouldn't become overly dependent upon them, and only as much as necessary. That's the secret. Take what we need. There's a very famous verse in the Ishopanishad. Who knows that verse? I think it's the second one in the Ishopanishad. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. You remember Jamuna? Have you ever heard us singing this? Om Purnam Madak Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasyam Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Ishavasyam idam sarvam Yat kincha jagatjam jagat Tena chaktena bunditaha Magradakashasvidanam. He goes, sings it very nicely, of course. Musical background, maybe George Harrison was there, I don't know. But a very beautiful song. He sings these first few verses of the Ishopanishad. So what's the meaning of that second verse? Here's some what? What was that? Everything belongs to the Lord. Everything animate, which means live, and inanimate, like dead matter. Everything is the property of the Lord. What's the rest of the verse? That's the first principle. To understand everything, your house, your children, your family, your body, your mind, everything belongs to the Lord. That's another part of this verse, isn't it? Therefore, you shouldn't hanker after what you think belongs to someone else. knowing well to whom everything belongs. You should accept what's, the other part is you should accept your quota. Your quota, not my quota, your quota. And not try to take someone else's quota, knowing well to whom everything belongs. What is your quota? If you're on the Prabhupada book marathon, that's something different. That's another angle of quota. But this is slightly different to that. It's not a question of, your quota is you have to distribute so many books. Whoop! What happened there? Where have you gone? Why have you all disappeared? Where are you? That's another thing, isn't it? We all judge everything according to how I see it, And then change of heart, you see things differently. So, what is this quota that is referred to in the Ishopanishad? Is that a reach? Oh, there we go, almost there. Huh? I don't know what's happening. 1 hour after eating, you can start drinking water. Ayurveda. What is the quota? Now you're going to quote a verse. I don't mean a quoting a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. What's the quota?
Something that is naturally coming rather than over-indulging.
That's a practical, on-the-spot way of looking at it, you could say. But in terms of perhaps accepting one's quota, it would probably be a little bit more, broader is not the word, but a little bit more specific.
Whatever is necessary to keep body and soul together.
Yeah, again, that's the practical application of that understanding. But in terms of, we've all got different bodies. No two people have got the same body. Of course, the body is also changing, but the same thing with the subtle mind. We've all received a particular set of senses. We've all received a certain type of body as a result of our karma from the past, in the material world anyway, desire and karma. And that's all given by Krishna. He gives us what we deserve and what we need. That's your quota. And the quota also refers to this. You can pick this up in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, as his quota was, in terms of the practical side, was that of a Kshatriya. But he wanted to take the quota of a Brahmana. So that itself is a sin. Sinful, unless you're ordered to do so, or it's an emergency. But in normal circumstances, it's considered sinful. The whole third chapter, isn't it? Third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked Krishna a very specific question towards the end of the chapter. And what does he ask him? Who knows? Third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Famous verse. Arjuna asks Krishna. The questions, the answer is famous. The question is not so famous. But what question does he ask?
What are the symptoms of a self-realized soul?
Pardon?
What are the symptoms of a self-realized soul?
That's in the second chapter. End of the third chapter. What is the thrust of the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita? What's the main subject matter? Third, Karma Yoga. So what is that? What is that Karma Yoga that Krishna's talking about?
Acting according to your nature.
Yeah. And of course, doing it as a sacrifice to Vishnu, but specifically, the main subject matter is acting according to your nature. Your nature, meaning conditional nature. So that's your quota. So acting according to your quota, your conditional situation. As a woman, you behave like a woman. As a man, you're meant to behave like a man. We're not men or women, but you have a woman's body and a man's body. You have a man's body which have a particular capacity. For instance, who have we got here? Okay, Krsna Prabhu is from Dunedin, living in Dunedin. Now, if we asked him to lift 200 kilo weights, can you do it? Maybe he can. He's not an ordinary person. He's extraordinary. But normally speaking, a slim, thin person cannot lift heavy weights. Now, if you ask Saurav, you look like a strong, muscular man. Maybe you could lift it, I don't know. You have a certain capacity anyway. Food, how much can you eat? One person can eat one man's meat is another man's poison, as they say. How much food can you eat? How many rasguls? We've heard the word rasgul. How many rasguls can you eat? Where's Sridham? Sridham, are you with us? Is he there? How many rasguls can you eat? Not many nowadays. But when he was a younger man and didn't have any health issues, he could probably eat. Huh? He said 20, not bad. Depends how big they are as well, of course. How many rasgulas can you eat? Suhrt Krsna? Don't say something you can't do, otherwise you're in trouble. Your wife's going to test you tomorrow.
I could do half of that.
Half of that, not bad, 10. How many pizzas can you eat? Come on, you all like pizzas. How many pizzas can you eat? Come on, ladies, this is your turn. How many pizzas can you eat? Who's putting there? Come on, everyone's pointing at each other. Hey, come on. Hey, look, you look like a pizza eater. Yeah, come on, Sachimata. How many?
I have children now.
Oh, your children are, okay.
Next 3.
3?
Yeah.
It depends how big they are. I mean, if they're this big, or they're this big, or this big.
Oh, 3 slices.
No, I mean whole pizzas. Say the pizza's a fairly small one, this big, okay? It's only 9 inches in diameter.
Maybe I can. I don't know.
Pizzas. How many can you eat? Say it's about 9 or 10 inches in diameter, about that big. How many pizzas can you eat? Come on. Who's a Harry Omachari? You look like a pizza man. Oh, you're giving him a quick fan there to cool him down. Ah!
One more.
One more. How many pizzas? Come on. Come on, don't hide out the back there. I can see that young man with the glasses at the back there. Come here. How many pizzas can you eat in one go? Did you hear what he said? Now these pizzas, not slices, these are pizzas. Actual the whole pizza. He's hiding now, he's gone. Hibernation, I think he's cheating us. Action speaks louder than words. That's a lot, 7 pizzas, can you imagine? They're about 9, 10 inches in diameter. Ooh. I guess it depends how thick they are as well. But a normal pizza. Vegetarian. How many? You look like a man, an honest man. I want some honesty around here.
If I'm hungry, I can finish 1 hour, otherwise it's usually.
Only 1? God, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Can't believe it. I never ate pizza. I don't eat pizzas very often. I'm not against them, but I rarely eat a pizza. Very rare. But I went to one time to Tauranga. You know Tauranga? You know our community there in Kati? I don't think they still do it. I don't know if any of you were there that day, but they had a pizza eating contest the day I happened to go there once, many years ago, 15 years or more ago, maybe even more. They had a pizza eating contest. It was an annual event. They used to enjoy themselves, with the kids and everything. So they made hundreds of pizzas. If you bought like 10 pizzas and things. Some of them were, different flavors and this and that. So the pizza contest began. And I'm not a pizza eater, but anyway, there was nothing else to do. That's all they were doing that day. So I had to take part in the pizza contest. I won the contest. I went up to, I ate 9 pizzas. I've got a unique capacity to eat large quantities of food if I want to. A very big stomach. Strange, huh? And the others who were like pizza freaks, they could only got to 7, 8. They all had to drop out. Anyway, that's not the goal of life, to eat 9 pizzas. We're not propagating this process. But we were going back to quotas, so some people can eat more than others and they don't feel anything from it, and others do. So you have to know what you can take, what is your quota on that side, and also on your capacity or your performance, what you are meant to be doing in this world, and not try to imitate someone else. So Arjuna asked a very important question. What did he ask in the 3rd chapter?
What impels a person towards lust?
Yeah. What is it called? No, he didn't say lust. He says, what causes a person to act sinfully as if against their nature? Now, look at the whole chapter. Where does Krishna mention murder, rape, theft, intoxication? He doesn't. He's only discussed performance according to your quota in that chapter. A sinful activity is to actually act against your nature, except for in exceptional situations. That's what he's referring to. And what does Krishna say? Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajaguna Samadbhava, Mahashama Mahabhatma Vihiri Viran. Is lust only, Arjuna? Lust only. And then what happens? Which compels us to act, but then? Yeah, it's born from the material modes, no doubt, in that sense. But transforms into? Anger. In contact with the mode of passion, you become angry if you don't get what you want, isn't it? If you don't give me another pizza, I'll get angry. Sometimes that happens. Children. Yeah, if you don't get what you want due to lust, and lust is when you're acting against your nature, you'll never be satisfied. Never. Only like a drug addict is temporary satisfaction only. Always disturbed. It's the Kali Yuga, huh? In Kali Yuga, Mandasa Mandamatayo, Mandabhagu Paduta. Men are always disturbed in this age. They're never satisfied because they're not actually following this principle of Ishavashamidam Sarvam Kinchajakatam. Of understanding that everything belongs to Krishna, we should be satisfied with our quota and not try to usurp that of others, knowing well to whom everything belongs. They don't follow this. And everyone's hankering for more and more and more and more and more. More of everything and anything we can get. And you're never satisfied. You get angry if you don't. Anger comes out in different ways. Depression is another reflection of anger. You become depressed. Some people become depressed. They don't get what they want. Others become virtually angry. And countries smash each other over this. And religions smash each other. Because they're not self-satisfied. They're not satisfied. They're not actually experiencing what they're supposed to be. So as aspiring devotees, we should try to follow this principle. To show that that satisfaction isn't just an accumulation or an adjustment externally of the world around us, but rather it's an internal state of consciousness. When even in the material world, when the soul is in relation with the material world, is more properly situated, we'll be a lot happier than when we're not. Acting according to our quota, according to our nature. Whether it's ashram or we're discussing this morning, it happened to be the class subject matter, Varna and ashram. So, even ashram, if one's not meant to be in a particular ashram, one's there because of circumstance or because of false ego or whatever it is, or failure, then one will not be satisfied. One has to be in a position which is appropriate to one's particular quota. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So, who's the inspector? Who's the inspector here? Who's the inspector? Gauranga Prema, you an inspector? Well, there you are. We're going to have to check every single cupboard, every single room, check the attic. You have a basement? Oh. Don't worry, we're not going to do it. We all have work to do. But keep the house nice, tidy, clean, simple as necessary according to everyone's. For simple for one is not simple for another. If your quota or your nature is one kind, it won't be the same as others. It's like a Kshatriya, you know. Can't expect a Kshatriya to live in a mud hut. Not their quota. They live in opulence. For them that's simple. But it's clean opulence. It's what they need for their duty. Whereas for another person living in a simple mud hut with no furniture, nothing, it's simple. For them to live in a house with all the mod cons, carpets and air cons is very complicated. So it depends on our quota as well. But aspiring devotees, at least they should search and try to find out what is necessary, what's not, and not accumulate anarthas, either in the heart or externally, as much as possible. So let us chant one round of japa together. I'm sure you've all finished your 64 rounds already, but if you haven't finished your 64 rounds, it's a good chance to catch up a little bit. And if you have, it's always good to chant one more. How many have finished their 64 rounds already? Anyone finished their 64 rounds? Hands up. Come on. Nobody? When Prabhupada started the movement, he said 64 rounds. Can you help me get this out of here? It's all entangled. Oh, it's coming out. Now it's coming out now. Wouldn't it be nice if we could chant 64 nice rounds? What do you think? Shyam, you must be having a little time on your hands now to chant more, aren't you?
32.
32, that's nice. He's busy with service. They're all running away now, are they? Where are you ladies going? Oh, you're going to get your beads. I see the beads are locked up somewhere. Locked up in the bathroom somewhere there. Oh, not the bathroom. I hope. Are you all ready? Have you got your beads? Vinda, where's your beads? Oh, good girl. Everyone's got their beads, those who have beads. Well, the young ones may not have beads. Oh, you got your own little set of beads here. Look at that. Whoa. How many beads on there? 27? I say 4 times down there is 1 round. Good one. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have your japa mala?
In my handbag.
It's in your handbag, okay. Whoops. Can you help her through?
No.
You okay?
Thank you.
Gentlemen, have you got your bee bags? Ladies, you have your own? Hari Om Acharya, you've got your bee bag? Where's the car? Okay, she's gone to bring her. I know there's all kinds of alternatives. We had one devotee at New Mayapur a few years ago. He was chanting on his mobile phone. There's an app on your mobile phone. Have you seen it? And you just go like this and it goes to the next bead. Tick, tick. You can see the beads. Now you've seen getting some good ideas here, Shivani. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And then clicker is another one, isn't it? Click, 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 click. If you're a pregnant mother or you're working and you can't take beads or something, that's another thing. But as a normal thing, we don't use it. Mother with a child or something, sometimes it's the only thing you can do. But I remember when I first went to Malaysia, the congregation sometimes would come to join us for japa. And all I could hear was click, 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 click. Everyone was using a clicker. No bead bags, only clickers. So I started preaching we should use beads and bead bags, They didn't like it, but they kind of, okay. So then next day, or a few days later, they all came with their bead bags. But I still heard click, 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 click. They had the clicker inside the bead bag. They're determined, huh? So I hope you haven't got clickers or mobile phones that tell us it's Thursday the 23rd of January again. You have now finished 1 round of japa. Turn around and chant another round. You were chanting inattentively. This does not count. Well, that may be not a bad idea. You have to train your mobile phone to be able to ascertain how attentive you were when chanting. That mantra was not chanted properly. You missed out Hare Hare. You jumbled up the Rama Ramas. We have a Rama Rama on the way to Hamilton, I know. So how do we chant? How do you chant? Let's hear somebody chant one mantra. Come on. Loudly. One person. Who'd like to volunteer to demonstrate how we chant one mantra? Anybody? When you're chanting japa, how do you chant one mantra? I'm a little embarrassed. I don't want to embarrass anyone specifically, but maybe somebody would like to volunteer. We'll chant one mantra. Everyone's shy here. They know what to do. It's a dangerous question. Well, get yourself into a nice posture, first of all. It's pretty hard to get into a good posture on a soft cushioned sofa, for starters. I'll do my best. Might need a little help to hook up here. It's so sinking into the mattress. It's not good to chant on soft, beds or whatever it is when you chant japa. But choose a comfortable position. Make sure you've had enough water and you're not out of breath and whatever else, as clean as possible. So how do you chant one mantra? Well, let's hear somebody. Some brave soul. Come on, quickly. We're not going to, ladies, we'll leave you out. The men, come on, you should be able to do this.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Is that okay? Is it all right or not? I mean, we can always do better, but was it okay or not? I mean, we're not going to find any faults there. But at least all 16 words are there. It's quite common to leave words out. It's a very common one. Another one is you move fast across the beads. I don't know if you ever noticed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh my God, I'm chanting fast this morning. 1 minute rounds. Another one is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You stay there for like 2 minutes, 2 hours or something, Oh, I never finished my rounds. What's going on this morning? Like that, isn't it? What else? That's just on the mechanics. But what about the actual chanting? Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, sometimes it sounds like that almost, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, all over the place. You're missing out there, adding that. All kinds of variations are there. What does it mean? We're not really listening. I mean, there's one thing chanting, there's another thing hearing, isn't there? We're not hearing. So we try to hear the mantra. That's also important. Without chanting, there's no hearing, but hearing is essential if we want change of heart. To hear the sound. It's not the mechanics which cause the change of heart. It's the association with Krishna and the reciprocation with Krishna. It's a relationship. We're not just chanting a mechanical mantra to achieve something other than Krishna himself, and Krishna is present in the form of the sound. That is him. It's not just the name of Krishna, it is Krishna. So try to bear in mind that we may not feel it, but actually we're having a chance to associate with the Supreme Lord. You just forget. You may sometimes not know it, but sometimes you may actually be associating with a person who's one of the most important or famous people in the world, and you don't even know it, and you just take it for granted. So, what to speak of associating with Krishna? Try to be hearing. And how do we hear the holy name? How do we hear? All these things we mentioned earlier make it maybe a little bit easier to hear, don't they? When you have a clean environment, more Krishna conscious, less distractions, and so on. Many other things too. Try to favorable situation. So how else can we hear the holy name? Anything else?
One word at a time.
That's one way. Well, it should be. Of course, that doesn't mean hooray. Now, did I hear hooray? No, I didn't. Start again. Hooray. I still didn't hear it. Hooray. Try a different way. Hooray. No. Hooray. No, I didn't hear it. What does it mean to hear? But basically speaking, every word should be pronounced, no doubt. We should try to hear every word. Anyway, Virjan Prabhu especially emphasizes this, doesn't he? At least try to hear one mantra. Don't worry about the last one or the next one. Try to hear the one you're chanting now. And then do the same thing with the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And definitely we'll miss, and definitely the mind will wander. Or something else happens, some distractions there. But as much as possible, we try to do like this. And this is amazing. I mean, this is called faith in the holy name as well. You have faith that by doing that Krishna will reciprocate, the heart will change. But if we don't hear, the change of heart will take a long time, even if we continue to chant. Many lifetimes, maybe. Attentive hearing is, practically speaking, the essential feature in transformation of the heart. To hear the sound, we're associating with Krishna. And it's by association that we become conditioned in this world. And it's by association we become released. And there's no better association than the association in this age, particularly of Nam Prabhu, the holy name, Krishna himself. So we try to, as much as we can, hear that sound vibration of the holy name. It's so simple. It's too simple in many ways. We think it has to be more complicated, but it's not. Everything can be achieved by chanting the holy name attentively without offense. And if we're attentive, there's not really much room for offense. Even if there is some tendency on our part to, be offensive towards Krishna. But if we're attentive towards him, at least for that period of time, then the heart will be without those offenses. So let us try to chant together. You want to chant slowly or quickly? Prabhupada would sometimes start off the japa period with quite slow japa. If you follow Prabhupada's japa tape, it will take you 11 or 12 minutes per round on the japa tape, if you follow exactly that pace. Prabhupada was chanting quite slowly on them. He gets sometimes a little faster, but generally about 11 minutes, which is quite slow. How long does it take you normally to chant a round? Chant a round.
9 to 10 minutes.
Pardon?
9 to 10 minutes.
9, that's quite slow, relatively speaking. 7 minutes. 7 to 8 is the average, I've heard. Some take a little longer, like Karuna, 9 minutes, maybe 10. And some quicker. I don't know, but it's not a question of quick or slow or fast. It's a question of, whether we're hearing, and whether we're chanting, first of all, the mantra, and secondly, are we hearing it? And in what is our attitude, of course, is also essential. But putting that aside, just the process of trying to hear the sound vibration. So it may take you 7, 8, 9, whatever minutes. Never mind. At least the first mantra, the first round, let's try to hear the sound. So it might take us 9 or 10 minutes, by the way. I don't know. Now my watch is a little fast. I keep it 1 or 2 minutes fast. So it might take 10 minutes, but we'll give it a go. Are you ready?
Yes.
So you don't have to, by the way, but it's a common practice and a good practice to first of all offer respects to the Panchatattva before we chant the Hare Krishna mantra. It's not a rule that Prabhupada established, but it's a good practice nonetheless. Some do, some don't. It's not right, it's not wrong. So we will do it today. Are we ready? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You remember what Jivananda Prabhu said yesterday? Just hold on. Do you remember what Jivananda Prabhu said yesterday in his offering? Who remembers? Pardon? Jivananda Prabhu said that? Yesterday in his offering he said something relating to japa. Try your best. Is that right? Just try your best. Satyananda Maharaj would say again and again during the japa, 8 hours of non-stop japa almost. Just try your best. Just try your best. Try to hear. Try to hear. Try your best. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just try your best. When you finish the round, put your hand up. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. They finished their round. Those two boys at the back have finished. They've got their hands up. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. No? Yes? No? Put your hand up. No? Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, He's finished his round. Ram is finished. He finished his round. Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, some hands are shooting up in the sky now. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama. Most of you have finished the japa round now, I think. Is that right? At least one, more or less the same time. It's a good idea to count how many beads you have on your japa, by the way. Sometimes you don't realize that you've been chanting on 107 beads for 15 years. You have a lot of chanting to catch up on. Or 110 beads. Nice. You're chanting extra round every couple of days or something. Good to have 108 beats plus the extra one. I saw a new type of japa tonight, first time. I've heard of jibber japper, jabber japa, this japa, that japa, all kinds of japas. But tonight we had jumping japa. I saw Karuna Sindhu jumping up and down out there chanting japa. Haribol, that was he's trying to keep awake, jumping up and down. Hare Krishna. So we may not have been as attentive at times as we could, but I'm sure at some times we're a little more attentive than usual, I hope so. We can't chant like that every day, goodness knows that took 15 minutes probably. But at least we can try to be a little bit more attentive than we are now. Most important thing we do in a sense if we want to advance in Krishna consciousness. The whole movement's based on chanting the holy name of Krishna. I was reading this afternoon one devotee, I think it was Balai Dasi. She said when she was early devotee in Boston, that devotees were not looking after their health. And Prabhupada in his own handwriting wrote a notice, first health, second chanting, third service. He wrote it in his own handwriting and stuck it on the wall. First health, second chanting, third service. So sometimes time, place, and circumstance adjustments of course are there, but bear that in mind. Look after your health. Sometimes our diet's not as good as it should be, or could be. Try to eat healthily. Don't just eat cheap food for the sake of it. Eat decent food. If you want some advice on food, Rasa Rasika Prabhu will give you good advice. He's a specialist in that regards. Yeah, amongst other specializations. He can tell us all the glories about processed milk. That's the best food, isn't it? Processed milk. Processed milk is the healthiest food you can get, he was telling me the other day. You drink lots of it, especially the skimmed one. Skimmed one is homogenized, what's the other one? Stabilized, standardized, and reconstituted milk. Long life milk is first class for your health. Is that right? The best product you can get. And it's quite cheap as well, so it's even better. Isn't it? I don't want to shock everyone out of their skin, but if Rasa Rasika gets started on, because he was his different job now, but he was in the laboratory, managing the laboratory for the biggest dairy, second biggest dairy in the world. Right? Fonterra. They're still working with them, right? Different department. But analysing all the products and the reactions of all the various milk products on cellular structure and what have you. Salt's another good one, right? Tell us about salt.
Yeah, so the salt that most of us use.
Listen carefully and listen slowly.
Is actually the byproduct of the salt extraction process. So it is the waste, which is sodium chloride, and it's iodized. All the goodness that comes from sea salt, like for example potassium chloride and all those potassium iodide, they are very high value product. That's all mined out of sea salt, but what remains is this massive byproduct, which is sodium chloride, and that's what we commonly use for salt. Problem is that now you've got sodium, which is now opening all those channels, but not balancing out with the potassium and all the other ions, and so hypertension and all the other problems related to it becomes very common.
Hypertension, meeting salt. I was told it also opens up, as you say, opens up the channels, but it doesn't hold the nutrient. It doesn't close the channels so that the cell absorbs.
Yes. So the process of what we call osmotic imbalance is generated, and so you're constantly getting this drainage or loss of minerals from your body just by intake of these things.
That type of salt, white salt. 99% of people are taking that salt daily. Systematically causing your own hypertension. So what salt would be better?
So the research shows that there's three key types of salt. So one is the Himalayan salt, and again certified Himalayan, because nowadays there are a lot of imperfections out of the modified ones as well. So certified sea salt as well. And there's another type of salt which is called the bamboo salt. Bamboo salt is very expensive. It is also from sea salt, but a combination of bamboo, and there's a whole process whereby extracts from bamboo is added to it. It has a lot of health benefits, but it is very expensive. But between having sea salt and having Himalayan salt, those two are well balanced. They've got a whole lot of minerals and ions that can come from it.
So that can save you a lot of money. Although you pay a little bit extra for the salt, it can save you a hell of a lot of money on other things,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Medical problems, tiredness, exhaustion, you name it.
For example, salt, Himalayan salt,
And sea salt.
Pure sea salt.
Pure sea salt. Also rock salt.
Rock salt,
That's
yeah.
another one. Yeah.
what about black salt?
Yeah, black salt. Yeah.
It may not be quite so easy or quite so tasty even sometimes. Some people don't like black salt.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the one that smells like eggs or something?
Yes.
The sea salt is also called rock salt. That's a different.
Again, the differences, yeah. But the sea salt, certified sea salt, it is the right thing. It is when it's mined, everything mined out of it. That's the one which is sold in bulk, which is the sodium chloride. That's the one we want to avoid.
Avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And milk? What's the best milk to take?
Ideally, I mean, from commercial perspective.
Listen carefully.
So commercially, you want to get.
Give him the mic. These don't sound too Krishna conscious, but they're very. If health comes first, it's a good idea to have some health first.
So, with regards to the milk, we have.
Move it a little bit away from a bit echoey.
So general tendency is that you want to go skim milk and all of those things, but there's a problem with it. The reason for it, there's a very high value with regards to the cream. So cream itself is taken away for other purposes, but the body needs it. So the best type of milk is it should be non-homogenized, and it should be full cream. Now, even if you buy the full cream milk, it is not going to have the full cream in it. So what you can do is buy those bottle of fresh cream and just add a little bit to it. So this gives you the fresh cream, the cream that normally is in milk. So you got non-homogenized, non-standardized, so that's
Non-stabilized,
non-stabilized in any way.
not reconstituted.
Exactly, yeah. And avoid the UHT milk, which is the ultra heat treated. So milk has, this is where you take milk and you overheat it to make it completely sterile, so that this particular form of milk can last for an extended period of time. Packet, yeah. And that particular form of milk with the level of heat that's induced into it, it is like a very high pressure vessel. So, milk's put through unnatural conditions, and that's where you get this ultra heat treated milk and ultra heat treated milk products. Again, avoid those. Now, other thing is with the standardized milk, part of standardization is the addition of high levels of lactose. Now, lactose naturally is a sugar that's in milk. Problem is that to get the flavor, now imagine you take milk, take the cream out of it, take a lot of these waste streams out of it, and to rebalance the flavor, lactose is added. Now lactose comes from different streams, like for example with cheese making, there's going to be a stream whereby a lot of lactose will come out. All of that lactose is formed into a powder. That powdered lactose is then used as part of the reconstitution process and part of the flavoring and standardization. So standardized milk will have a lot more sugar, the lactose sugar, and that's why, in terms of diabetic and all those risks go up. So whereas natural, non-standardized, non-homogenized, non-adulterated milk is going to be with the right level of lactose sugar. It's not going to be elevated levels in it.
Well, together, cream seems to be the most healthy part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Full cream.
Yeah.
Well, people think that's the most dangerous thing.
What's very interesting is that there's this metabolism in the body, the three types. So the body has to process sugar. It is like a if you give it sugar, it has to process it. Then it goes into those carbs, carbohydrates, and it has to process that. Eventually, it starts working on those fats. And this is how we've trained our body for a long time. However, with fasting and all of those things, we retrain our body to utilize, in terms of metabolism, go to the fats first. You start breaking the fats down, utilize it. So when we take full cream milk, we are retraining our body to use that stream of metabolism, because that actually works really well. It elevates your metabolic levels. We've done quite a few clinical studies just on this subject, and we know scientifically that, of course, in the keto diets and things like that, they just push it to another extreme. But that the metabolic pathways, if you have enough fats in your diet, you will be able to better manage your metabolism. Metabolic rate will be higher, and so full cream milk allows you to do that. Now, obviously, don't want to go extreme in any extreme is not good in any case.
Like a litre of full cream milk.
Yeah.
keeps bad health away.
Exactly. Yes.
He told me to drink full cream milk. In moderation.
In moderation, yes.
It should be a balance.
With cheese, for example, cheese is... Sorry.
Just we talked about milk, just for everybody else. You said non-homogeneous, non-standardized.
Yes.
Can you give an example of such a product or brand that
Yes.
you buy?
So there's quite a few brands. Just earlier this morning, yesterday we bought, it's like this Puhoi.
Yeah, the organic milk.
Organic milk, and you'll find it will be, again, within them, there's two types. Even if it's organic, it will be, some of them are homogenized and standardized, and there'll be others which will not be homogenized. So it will say non-homogenized and non-standardized, Right. So that's important. So we can have organic and still be all of those.
Right.
Yeah.
So just buying organic is not good, not enough.
Exactly, yeah. And with cheese...
What about powdered milk?
So powdered milk is very interesting. It is quite an unnatural product, because normally, if you take the milk powder and dry it as it is, now try to mix it with water, there'll be hydrophobic. It's just not going to bind well together. There'll be a lot of separation. So to make it bind together, there's a process of fusing fat and tiny bits of fat globules and milk solids together. So this is part of the milk powder making process. And then you start to add, of course, a whole lot of lactose powder into it. It's all blended together to make this complex chains. Now, then under immense heat, it is just, there's a blower which keeps drying it down. So by the time it comes down onto the hoppers, it's already dry powder. So this is an unnatural combination. And you'll find that the level of lactose sugar will be much higher than even in liquid milk. That's where the sweetness in milk powder comes from. And skim milk powder, so someone may say, okay, skim milk is better in this regard. Actually, skim milk powder has higher level of lactose sugar than the full cream. So it's the full
Even
cream
worse.
is, yeah.
It's all gimmick. It's all like sales propaganda.
Exactly.
Most of the Asian world is taking powdered milk. Mostly. And they even bring in powdered milk in countries like Philippines, and then they put it into bottles.
Yes.
It's powdered milk when it comes in, and then they put it back into liquid form and sell it like that.
What about the infant formula?
Yeah. So again, there's a general statement.
What was the question?
What about infant formula?
Infant formula.
Yeah. Ideally, in the best case scenario, you would try and mother's milk is best. But in situations where that's not possible, then that is what you need to do in that interim until because the baby does tend to struggle initially with until the enough bacteria is built up to digest the cow's milk. They will eventually, but it is a bit of a process because what's happened over the years with different lifestyles, the biohealth or the amount of biome in the gut, the flora has changed drastically. What was feasible before, it is changing over time, but it doesn't mean it can't be restored. So, oftentimes people sort of would take probiotic, for example, but you also need to see that is this probiotic able to survive the gut stomach acid. So there are certified ones. Otherwise, everything probiotic, this probiotic, and everything probiotic. But if you go into the research paper to say this organism, does it actually meet the criterion that allows it to help replace the gut health? That's another thing. That's where you get things like kefir grain. That they are actually able to.
It's good.
It's great. It's really good. Yes.
What's that caffeine?
Kefir, Kefir, and again with kefir you can buy the best is the natural ones, unsweetened, and it's got a good amount of healthy bacteria.
Is it a byproduct of the milk industry or what?
No, it's produced separately, and oftentimes the dairy industries don't produce that.
Was it made from what?
It is a cultured product, so it's made from milk. There's two types of kefir. One is made with sort of more juice or fermented kind of products, liquid streams. But the dairy one is made with milk. It is just brought to boil and then start a culture, which is the kefir. They call it the kefir grain, and that starter bacteria is added. And it's allowed to ferment slowly.
It's not homogenized, processed, or anything?
No. So to make it proper kefir, the milk should not be
You
homogeneous.
can make your own kefir.
That's
can't
not
Yes.
for children, is it?
For kefir, children, it could come later, but ideally, the mother, if they're taking them, then later it will affect the kids, the baby's tolerance
you?
level.
So back to his question, you didn't really answer that.
So for the infant formula, it is, you'll find that it still has a lot of additives in it. And also, while lactose level is less in it, that's why the price is higher. Nonetheless, if you do a study of, say, a child who's just breastfed versus a child who's fed on infant formula, the weight index will be higher on the baby which has been formula fed, and it's actually unnaturally higher. So the fat values go up, and it's often attributed to the level of fortification that's happened in the formula. So ideally minimize it, but there's a saying, fed is best. If the baby can't be fed otherwise, then do the needful, Yeah.
Coming back to salt.
Yes.
Coming back to salt, if we take, let's say, rock salt or Himalayan salt, what about the iodine component?
Now that's interesting. Iodine naturally is a product that's in there, and it is a micro mineral. So there's sort of almost a false an idea, especially related to hypothyroidism and all of those things. But the level of iodine that's needed is not great big numbers. So, but iodine as a chemical, you need other supporting compounds with it. So just with the way things go, sodium chloride, which is iodized, you've got only iodine, but you don't have all the other sister compounds to support its absorption and retention. So you can absorb it, but not constant retention. There's enough of it in normal sea salt. There's enough of it in Himalayan salt. You don't need extra.
So you're saying the level of iodine in rock salt or in sea salt
It's sufficient.
is sufficient.
Yeah.
You don't need it. So it's a media. It's
Yeah.
something that's propagated.
Exactly, because you could see. Imagine after you take this, mountains of salt, you've taken all the goodness out of it. What do you do with that salt? So imagine if you can just put a bit of iodine into it, put it into packets, and just sell it. And people, this is used in terms of cheese. Why is it the cheese you have to take in moderation? Because cheese itself, if you're not making it yourself, it is made with this type of salt. There's like big barrels of salt, and there's a scraper which is scraping gently that salt
onto the casein, which is eventually pressed, and you get your final product. So you still with it repeats the slice every we are overdosing ourselves on this artificial, highly processed salt.
So is feta cheese any better than your normal processed cheese?
No, because feta cheese itself is soaked in the same brine solution.
Look,
feta
wait a
cheese-
minute.
yeah,
They know all of this, don't they?
yes.
So why are they doing it to us?
Yeah. It's very much monitored.
That's a sensitive question, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. It's
They know that. They know the reaction that there's going to come from this.
It's like cigarettes. I mean, everyone else going to die from cigarettes. They're still smoking.
But at least they tell you. They don't even tell you this.
That's right.
Sugar also is like jaggery.
Yeah. So what's really interesting is that we've gone into a generation where processed sugar has become the norm, and for food-wise, even in normal, even cooking, people put a bit of sugar into. Like there's a taste, bitterness has its own value. People put sugar in bitter melon, even. So, and this sugar itself is not just normal sugar; it is highly processed sugar. Now, if you take, say, for example, cane sugar, take out the molasses. What people do with molasses, the most common thing is making rum. That's
Making what?
a rum.
Rum.
Rum. That's good. Isn't it? Rum's good, huh? That's pure.
Iron
Healthy product.
Exactly. And that's a huge industry. So you keep taking stuff out of it, and again left with glucose. These complex forms of glucose sugars. There's not much goodness left in it. Avoid that. Alternatives, for example, if we consider, and this is something that I've been meditating upon for a while, how would people have been cooking before the sugar industries? How they were making sweet rice, what would they have done in that instance? How would they have made it? So, like for example, jaggery. And again, with jaggery nowadays, you'll find that they'll add food coloring into it, and they'll put some salt into it. Some brands, not all of them. So you have to check again. But there's things like there's coconut sugar so far. So coconut sugar, raw jaggery, which has none of those additives to it. There's grape syrup, there's date syrup. So these
What about maple syrup?
maple syrup as well. Yes, that's another good one. Honey, of course, yeah. But
Mishri is good too.
yes,
Mishri is supposed to be really good.
yeah, yes, yeah. I haven't done research into
Right,
rock candy myself.
Agave, is it called?
Agave. No, agave has an interesting one. I was just mentioning to Rasikananda Prabhu that so for a couple of papers that I've read, there seems to be sort of mixed messages about it. So I haven't become fully convinced yet, because there are some again trials done which show that it may not be as healthy as we thought, saying that we've got jaggery and or grape syrup, date syrup, and maple syrup, the coconut sugar, honey. With honey, the only thing is that it is heat sensitive, so we don't cook honey. Exactly. And in terms of toxicity, what does that mean? Because it's not in itself, because you can't detect any type of poison in it. However, its properties are lost. It becomes just like taking glucose, taking processed sugar. And that sugar is like taking poison. So it is still poison, but in this kind of roundabout way,
So you shouldn't cook honey.
Shouldn't cook honey.
You shouldn't boil it, nothing.
No.
What's
You
that?
have, again,
Putting it in hot water, boiling water.
you wait for it to become warm enough that's drinkable, and then you add honey to it. Otherwise, the honey's properties are altered. Yeah.
Is all honey pure? It's not all pure honey, though. Is
No.
it?
Again, with honey, you need to buy the raw honey. They'll be certified raw honey. Otherwise, now it's common practice the honey gets pasteurized. So
Do they add sugar to honey sometimes?
so in New Zealand they don't. It's illegal. And there is a whole show quality and others. As part of their regulatory requirements, they have to check for it. But in other parts, it is not uncommon to have sugar added to honey. Uh, the other part is you'll find honey can be creamed. Now, the creaming process is just a form of crystallization. You put a little bit of crystallized honey and keep blending into it. It does not alter the structure, as they say, of honey, but it's just a different color. But the main thing is it should not be pasteurized by certified raw honey. In the markets, it's very readily available.
You're lucky here. In New Zealand, there's quite a lot of good honey. Huh?
Yes, yes,
Only two honey, Manuka honey and flower honey.
yeah. Now with Manuka honey, the interesting thing is that a lot of times we pay but for the name, because you can take a small amount of Manuka and blend it in, and you can legally still call it Manuka in small scale blended, or floral, Manuka floral. Because here's the thing, pure Manuka honey will say have those those antibiotic properties of say Savanti. That does not earn a lot of money. It is the ones which are on, because not most people don't buy it. So those higher numbers are blended out. You just, because, you kind of, imagine, buying Lamborghini, or Ferrari. Not everyone buys it. But Toyota is the largest, car company. It is making product for most people. Honey, Manuka honey is like that. If you buy the high end, it's not that something that will give value to the producer. So it's blended out.
I didn't quite catch it all. They put 250 plus, they put 5 plus. Does that mean anything?
Yes, yeah. So those are the level of there's some antibiotic sort of resistance properties in it, and so the bigger the number, the more it is able to be kind of have the antibiotic resistance properties. Smaller the number, the less it is.
Antibiotic.
Yeah, so that's where, with the Manuka honey, the higher end one, it has got more of those medicinal properties.
Anyway, we could go on and on all night with the health thing here. Yeah, that was quite a lot, I think, in it. One or two little lessons there. As Prabhupada said, health should be first, chanting second, and service third. So it does have to be taken into account. We talked a little bit about growing your own food, and said the best thing is to have your own cow. So if your next thing is to try to get a cow and have your own milk, okay, then problem solved, right? Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rasa. We got all the clapping there. It didn't do anything for me. It's a waste of time. I wasted 2 hours, and in 20 minutes you got more than I got. Jeez. I just have to start studying about health food and get more claps. But Prabhupada wanted us to eat healthily. He didn't want us to eat, time and circumstances, it's difficult. But when we were kids, there was no such thing as inorganic food, for instance. It didn't exist. There was nothing like that. It was just straight from the farm. They didn't use all this pesticides and insecticides. And the milk came that morning straight from the dairy. There was no question. It may have been pasteurized, but nothing more than pasteurized. It didn't exist. These are all modern. The last 50, 60 years, all this has come in.
But in smaller towns, there was no pasteurization.
Nothing.
They just milk the cow.
Straight there, straight to
And
you.
by afternoon, the milk is finished.
Finished.
In India, it's still sign. They don't boil
They
the
don't.
milk. They don't pasteurize it. That's using the hot milk.
Even if you do boil the milk, it's not a big deal, is it? If you just boil the milk, you boil it normally. You don't boil it
Rice,
down.
they do the same. Like normal rice, brown rice, for example, has a shorter shelf life because of the coating on top that actually allows certain bacteria to remain as well. But by polishing it out, it extends the shelf life
less. So if you polish people, they live longer.
People from Poland live long.
Yeah, Polish people. They're polished. Sounds all good to me. You ready?
Great.
Okay. Cow, get a cow tomorrow, okay? And get their cows. Start planting and dig up your floor of your house and start growing things in there. Maybe there's some salt underground, you can dig deep enough.
We're going to get a lot of phone calls in the next few days.
Oh my goodness. Turn your phone off, lock it up in the time safe. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna.
Janata Maharaj ki jai.